My friend, try to recall the last time you drove at night. The streetlights and the headlights from oncoming cars suddenly felt blinding, creating hazy streaks of light that made it hard for you to focus. Everything around seemed covered in a misty veil, leaving your eyes strained and tired. Many people often believe this is just an inevitable sign of aging, that once you pass 60, declining eyesight is simply unavoidable. But is the truth really that grim? Statistics show that up to 95% of Americans over the age of 65 begin to experience early signs of cataracts. Yet in most cases, doctors advise patients to simply wait until the condition becomes severe before considering surgery. This has led many to believe that aside from costly medical procedures, they have no other options. But here's the astonishing truth revealed by both the latest scientific research and traditional medical wisdom passed down for thousands of years. Certain humble, familiar fruits in your very own kitchen may help restore clarity to your vision and even slow down or reverse cloudiness in its early stages. Imagine your eyes as a clear glass window. Over the years, harsh sunlight, blue light from screens, dust, and daily stress act like tiny specks of dirt slowly building up on its surface. Without care, that glass becomes cloudy, making the outside world appear faded and unclear. But if you nourish it with the right nutrients, the glass can be refreshed, restored to its original clarity. And here's the miracle. This polish isn't something distant or hard to find. It may already be sitting right there on your plate of everyday fruits. In today's video, we'll take a close look at 7 fruits scientifically proven to protect and even restore the lens of your eyes. From familiar ones like apples, grapes, and oranges, to a remarkable fruit often called a miracle cure for aging eyes. Each fruit comes with specific scientific evidence, as well as real-life stories of people who experienced a noticeable improvement in their vision thanks to their persistence. Now let's begin this remarkable journey, exploring 7 fruits with the power to protect and restore your eye lens. The first one may sound almost too familiar, so ordinary that most people never imagined it could hold such anti-cataract strength. That fruit is the apple. For centuries, apples have been seen as a symbol of health, with the famous saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." But what many don't realize is that beneath the apple's thin skin lies a very special compound, quercetin. This is a powerful flavonoid antioxidant that acts like a shield, protecting the proteins in your lens from oxidation and clumping together. When proteins change, the lens loses its clarity, much like how egg whites turn cloudy when cooked. Quercetin serves as the gatekeeper, stopping that process in its tracks. A study at Cornell University followed nearly 500 people over 5 years. The results showed that those who ate at least 1 apple a day, especially with the skin, had up to a 27% lower risk of developing cataracts compared to those who didn't. Even more importantly, people who stuck with this apple habit long-term not only maintained clearer vision, but also reported fewer problems with glare and haziness as they aged. Michael's story, a 58-year-old accountant, is a living example. Spending his days buried in spreadsheets under fluorescent lights, he began to notice that numbers were becoming blurry, especially in dim light. His doctor diagnosed him with early signs of cataracts. Instead of simply waiting for surgery, Michael was advised to adopt one small habit: eat 1 organic red apple every morning, skin and all. After just a few months, Michael noticed a remarkable difference. The halos around lights at night diminished, and his eyes felt clearer and more comfortable. If you want to get the most out of apples, remember that most of the quercetin is found right under the skin. That's why it's best to choose clean, pesticide-free apples, wash them thoroughly, and eat them with the skin on rather than peeling it away. Red varieties like Red Delicious or Gala are especially rich in quercetin, and the best time to eat an apple is in the morning on an empty stomach, so your body can absorb the nutrients fully. 1 apple a day. It sounds so simple, yet it may be the very first step toward keeping your eyes bright and slowing the progress of cataracts. Fruit number 6, grapes. If apples provide protection through their quercetin-rich skin, grapes can be seen as tiny jewels, packed with powerful nutrients for the eyes. In particular, red and purple grapes are famous for 2 prized compounds, anthocyanins and resveratrol. This antioxidant duo penetrates deeply into the lens, neutralizing free radicals before they can cause damage and cloud the proteins in your eyes. Resveratrol even activates protective genes that help maintain lens clarity, acting like an inner maintenance crew working tirelessly inside your eyes. A large study at the University of Missouri followed more than 800 adults over the course of 10 years. The results were impressive. Those who regularly ate about half a cup of red or purple grapes each day had up to 34% lower levels of cataract clouding compared to those who rarely ate grapes. The research also revealed that the color of grapes reflects their strength. The darker, the deeper the purple or red, the richer they are in anthocyanins. That's why Concord grapes and red grapes are considered far superior to green grapes, which contain far fewer anti-cataract nutrients. Maria's story, a 62-year-old retired teacher, is a clear example. She loved reading detective novels, but over time the pages became blurry, forcing her to take off her glasses in frustration. Her doctor advised her to prepare for surgery within a year. Instead of rushing, Maria chose to try a small change. Every afternoon, she enjoyed a serving of frozen Concord grapes as her snack. 6 months later, her checkup revealed something remarkable. Her cataracts had not worsened, and there was even a slight improvement in lens clarity. Maria kept up this simple habit, and now, 2 years later, she is still reading her favorite novels without needing surgery. To get the most benefit from grapes, eat them with the skin and, if possible, the seeds. Grape seeds contain oligomeric proanthocyanins, a group of compounds that strengthen the tiny capillaries nourishing your eyes. For a more enjoyable twist, you can freeze grapes and eat them as a refreshing cold snack. This not only makes them fun to eat, but also slows the absorption of natural sugars, helping to prevent sudden spikes in blood sugar, one of the risk factors that can accelerate the progression of cataracts. A small bunch of grapes each day not only satisfies your sweet tooth, but also works like a gentle tonic for your eyes, helping you preserve the clarity of youth. Fruit number 5. Papaya, the silent repairman inside your eyes. This tropical fruit contains a special enzyme called papain, which has the unique ability to break down and dissolve damaged proteins, the very culprits behind lens clouding. In other words, while many other fruits focus mainly on prevention, papaya may actually help reverse early-stage cataracts. Scientists at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences conducted a study on nearly 1,000 patients with early-stage cataracts. After 6 months of eating a daily cup of ripe papaya, up to 41% of participants showed clearer lenses and a significant reduction in cloudiness. These results surprised many doctors, as they rarely see such visible improvement without surgical intervention. Robert's story, a 65-year-old photographer, offers hope to many. For him, his eyes were not only the windows to his soul, but also the very tools of his livelihood. When his doctor told him he had cataracts in both eyes, especially severe in his left, Robert was deeply worried. Before scheduling surgery, he decided to try a natural approach, eating a cup of ripe papaya every morning, along with a few blended black seeds. 8 months later, the results astonished even his doctor. The clouding in his left eye had decreased by 15%, while his right eye remained stable without worsening. Robert continued this habit, and now 3 years later, he is still working with his camera without having undergone surgery. For the best results, choose papayas that are fully ripe, bright yellow-orange in color, and slightly soft to the touch. At this stage, the fruit contains the highest levels of papain. It's best to eat it in the morning on an empty stomach so the enzyme can be absorbed and work effectively. And don't discard the black seeds. They also contain compounds that support eye health. You can blend a spoonful of seeds with the fruit in a smoothie to take full advantage. A ripe papaya each day may be the natural therapy your eyes need to regain clarity, while also greatly delaying the need for surgery. Fruit number 4, oranges. When people think of vitamin C, the first fruit that usually comes to mind is the orange. But what few realize is that this familiar fruit is actually one of the most powerful weapons against the progression of cataracts. In fact, the lens of the eye contains vitamin C concentrations up to 60 times higher than in the blood. Clear evidence that it is the top nutrient for preserving lens clarity. Oranges deliver a triple force of protection for your eyes. First is vitamin C, the antioxidant that prevents oxidation from clumping and clouding the proteins in the lens. Next is hesperidin, a flavonoid often overlooked because it's concentrated in the white inner peel, the part many people throw away. Hesperidin helps strengthen and protect the tiny capillaries that nourish the eyes, ensuring a steady flow of blood and oxygen to the lens. Finally, there's zeaxanthin, the orange-yellow pigment that acts like a built-in pair of sunglasses, filtering out harmful blue light, a silent enemy that speeds up cataract development. A 10-year study at King's College London on more than 300 pairs of twins revealed that those with the highest intake of vitamin C, mainly from oranges, had a 33% lower risk of cataract progression compared to the rest. This means that simply by eating oranges regularly, you may be helping your eyes slow down aging by an entire decade. Jennifer, a 55-year-old graphic designer, experienced a worrying change. She noticed the colors on her screen gradually shifting, with whites turning yellowish, a classic early sign of cataracts. Instead of resigning herself, Jennifer followed her integrative doctor's advice. Eat 2 fresh oranges every day, keep the white inner peel, and pair them with a handful of almonds to boost antioxidant effects. After 5 months, not only had her color perception returned to normal, but measurements also showed her lens clarity improved by as much as 12%. To get the most out of oranges, eat the whole fruit instead of just drinking the juice, since juice often removes the fiber and the valuable hesperidin. Choose thick-skinned, juicy varieties like navel oranges for the best nutritional content. The golden time to eat oranges is mid-morning, when the body absorbs vitamin C most effectively. With just a few slices of orange each day, you not only refresh your energy, but also give your eyes a protective armor against cataracts, helping preserve the clarity that aging so often tries to take away. Fruit number 3, kiwi. Small, fuzzy-skinned, and often overlooked in the corner of the supermarket shelf, kiwis are actually among the most nutrient-rich fruits for eye health. Few people realize that, gram for gram, kiwi contains even more vitamin C than oranges, an essential nutrient for protecting the lens from oxidative damage. On top of that, kiwi is especially rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 carotenoids often described as the body's natural sunglasses, filtering out UV rays and blue light before they can damage the proteins in your eyes. What makes kiwi truly stand out is its unique combination of vitamin C and vitamin E. These 2 antioxidants have the remarkable ability to regenerate each other, creating a continuous protective effect, like a double shift that never stops working for your eyes. In addition, kiwi contains the enzyme actinidin, which aids in protein digestion and helps break down damaged protein fragments that accumulate in the lens, the direct cause of cataracts. A study in New Zealand involving more than 1,400 participants found that eating just 2 kiwis a day reduced the risk of developing cataracts by 36% and slowed disease progression by 28% in those already affected. These findings reinforce the belief that such a small fruit can make a big difference in vision health. Thomas, a 60-year-old pilot, once faced the risk of early retirement due to cataracts. If his condition progressed further, he would no longer meet the vision standards required to fly. In his worry, Thomas started a simple routine. Each morning, he ate 2 golden kiwis along with a small portion of avocado. 1 year later, his mandatory medical exam revealed that his cataracts had not worsened. In fact, his contrast sensitivity had improved. Thanks to this change, he was cleared to keep flying and continue the job he loved. For the best results, choose golden kiwis. They contain about 60% more vitamin C than green ones. The skin of organic kiwi is also edible. While it may feel a bit unpleasant to some, it provides an extra dose of antioxidants. To boost carotenoid absorption, pair kiwi with a source of healthy fats like walnuts or avocado. And whenever possible, eat kiwi on an empty stomach so the actinidin enzyme can work at its full potential. Just 1 to 2 kiwis a day, something that seems like a simple snack, can actually serve as your insurance policy, keeping your eyes clear, strong, and resilient no matter your age. Fruit number 2. If there's one fruit often called the miracle for the eyes, it's the blueberry. Small but packed with energy, Blueberries contain the highest levels of anthocyanins among common fruits. This powerful group of antioxidants can not only prevent damage, but also repair it within the lens, something very few foods are capable of doing. Anthocyanins work by breaking down abnormal cross-links between proteins in the lens, which are the main reason the lens becomes cloudy. They also slow the process of glycation, the binding of sugar to proteins that alters and damages them. This is one of the key mechanisms driving cataract formation, especially in people with high blood sugar. A large-scale study in Japan involving more than 2,300 participants found that those who ate about 1 cup of blueberries per day had up to a 38% lower risk of needing cataract surgery over 15 years. What's especially noteworthy is that while blueberries contain nearly twice the amount of anthocyanins compared to cultivated varieties, giving them a far greater benefit. Linda, a 68-year-old painter, had once been scheduled for cataract surgery within 6 months. For her, her eyes weren't just for seeing, they were her livelihood, as her art depended on fine details and accurate colors. In her worry, Linda decided to change her habits. Every day, she ate 1 cup of wild blueberries, split into 2 servings, half a cup with yogurt in the morning, and the other half in the evening as a snack. After 18 months, the results stunned her doctor. The cloudiness in her right lens had decreased by 20%, and in her left by 15%. Linda not only avoided surgery, but also continued creating detailed, vibrant paintings just as she had before. To get the most out of blueberries, choose wild ones whenever possible, fresh or frozen. In fact, freezing actually helps break down cell walls, making the antioxidants easier to absorb. Pairing blueberries with yogurt or kefir is an excellent choice, since the fats and proteins in dairy help stabilize anthocyanins and make them work more effectively. However, it's best to avoid eating blueberries alongside iron-rich foods like red meat, as iron can reduce the effectiveness of these valuable compounds. 1 cup of blueberries a day can be your sweet medicine, keeping your eyes clear, delaying surgery, and protecting your vision so you can continue enjoying life to the fullest. At the very top of the list of cataract-fighting fruits is goji berries. These tiny, bright red-orange berries have long been used in traditional Asian medicine to nourish the eyes and improve vision. Today, modern science confirms that goji berries are truly a superfood for eye health, thanks especially to their extraordinarily high levels of zeaxanthin, the highest found in nature, hundreds of times more than oranges. Zeaxanthin concentrates directly in the lens, forming a protective shield against blue light and free radicals, the silent enemies that drive cataract formation. What makes goji berries even more remarkable is a compound called LBP, Lycium barbarum polysaccharides. This group of bioactive polysaccharides stimulates the body to produce its own antioxidant enzymes directly inside the eyes. In other words, goji berries don't just deliver nutrients from the outside, they also switch on your body's internal defense system, helping the lens protect and even repair itself. A large-scale 20-year study in China, involving nearly 4,000 participants, found that those who ate just 15 grams of dried goji berries daily had up to a 52% lower risk of developing cataracts. Even more astonishing, in 31% of early-stage cases, the lens actually became clearer, meaning the cataract was truly reversed without the need for surgery. David Story, a 71-year-old retired engineer, is a powerful example. He was diagnosed with advanced cataracts in both eyes and was already scheduled for surgery within 3 months. But David asked to delay the operation so he could try a natural approach. Every day, he ate 30 grams of organic goji berries, soaked in warm water for about 10 minutes, consuming both the berries and the nutrient-rich soaking water. After 3 months, his follow-up exam left his doctor in disbelief. The cataract in his right eye improved from grade 3 to grade 2, while the clarity of his left lens improved by 25%. His surgery was canceled, and now, after 2 years of maintaining this habit, David still reads books and works on his computer without needing the operation. If you want to use goji berries effectively, choose organic ones with a bright red color, avoiding those with brown spots or dull shades. Soaking the berries in warm water for 10 minutes before eating nearly doubles the absorption of zeaxanthin, while the soaking water itself becomes a nutrient-rich eye tea. The ideal dosage is about 15 grams per day for prevention and 30 grams daily for 2 to 3 months if you want to improve vision in the early stages. Just one small handful of goji berries a day can make a big difference, keeping your eyes clear, strong, and naturally protected against cataracts. After learning about these 7 incredible fruits for your eyes, the question is, how do you apply this knowledge in daily life? The answer is simple. You don't need to eat them all at once. Just choose a few that fit your lifestyle and keep the habit consistent. Each fruit carries its own unique power. Apples rich in quercetin protect lens proteins. Grapes strengthen blood vessels. Papaya with papain breaks down cloudy proteins. Oranges and kiwis deliver vitamin C and lutein. Blueberries provide anthocyanins to restore clarity. And goji berries supply zeaxanthin and LBP to activate your eye's internal antioxidant defenses. The best strategy is to spread them throughout the day. An apple or a slice of papaya in the morning, an orange mid-morning, some grapes or blueberries in the afternoon, and in the evening before bed, a kiwi or a handful of goji berries soaked in warm water. Consistency is the key. Don't think you need to make huge changes. Just small steps repeated daily can gradually bring more clarity to your eyes, helping delay or even avoid unwanted surgery. My friend, throughout this journey, we've seen that cataracts are not a life sentence of aging. Yes, surgery may be necessary in severe cases, but before reaching that point, you absolutely have the power to protect and nourish your eyes with the gifts of nature. From a humble apple in the morning, a cool cluster of purple grapes in the afternoon, to a slice of ripe papaya, a juicy orange, a golden kiwi, a cup of wild blueberries, or a handful of bright red goji berries. Each of these can become a natural remedy to help your eyes stay clear and bright. The most important thing isn't eating a lot in a single day. It's about staying consistent and making it part of your daily routine. Big changes always begin with small steps. An apple, a handful of grapes, a few blueberries. They may seem simple, but repeated day after day, month after month, they can bring a real difference to your vision. Now, I'd love to hear your story. Out of the 7 fruits we talked about today, which ones do you already eat regularly? And which will you try adding after watching this video? Share your experiences or challenges in the comments below. We read and reply to every message, so together we can build a community that truly knows how to care for eye health. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming content on senior health. Share this video with your friends and loved ones, because who knows, just one small habit starting today might help them avoid the shadow of cataracts in the future. Remember, clear vision is a priceless gift for an independent, free, and colorful life in your golden years. And that gift begins with the fruits on your table each day.